Paula Scher is a designer out of New York City. With her overwhelming dislike for the typeface of Helvetica, Scher avoids any relation with what she calls the establishment's font. Instead, she uses other fonts and is prone in using them in an extremely larger manner and over-exaggerated elongation. Much of her work simulates the urban atmosphere within a structural integrity that reflects her beloved city of New York. It is the grid-like appearance of the aerial perspective where she derives much of her influence. Her style has pinned her into numerous design movements, including Retro New York, a celebration of early 20th century typeface, and postmodernism. As a student in her early years, she wanted to be a painter, but along the way picked up on type and decided to approach typography instead. Working for CBS record label advertising helped to open more doors. Here, her discontent for Helvetica showed through. Creating images and disconnected fonts reflected to some people constructivism. This may not have been where she had felt the pieces were emulated from, but went with it. Finally, along her voyage, she was asked to create a piece for AIG, once known as the American Institute of Graphic Arts. The piece she created was on a $1,000 budget, in which she worked to ensure not to spend any of it so that she could use it for living expenses. There was an outcry for more of her work. Since then, she has been a director, manager, and even, currently, is on the City Council of New York. Here she helps to decide and problem solve who or what can be built, where to better enhance the city in which she loves. She is very passionate about her beloved New York. She gives a lot of credit to the city for influencing most of her style. Long uppercase letters, laid out like the city in which she inhabits. Her work in New York City is done in an environmental study. These pieces go along the environment in which piece or the piece may be presented. For instance, welcoming arrows on bridges, extremely large words or numbers along staircases, labeling the obvious. But her most recent work is the series of handwritten maps she has been working on for over a decade. Everything is her interpretation. Yes, she has been commissioned on a few different pieces reflecting this style she has created, but none of which compare to her original piece. Paula Scher and her roguelike approach to the medium has given her not only respect amongst her colleagues and students, but has also paved the way to new thought when approaching typography. She is in a class of her own. Her unconventional problematic issue solving has created both criticism and a profound joy of imagination. There is no comparison to her appetite within the graphics field. Regardless of her self-proclaimed lack of painting ability, when it comes to type, there are none that can compete. The AIGA has written that she uses historical design to make visual analogies and for its emotional impact and immediate appeal to contemporary audiences. Also, Rob Carter of American Typography Today has described her as having an endless appetite for design and approaches her work with vigorous energy. This only goes to show admiration for such a disciplined designer within her craft. Cher will always be a forerunning designer for all to admire and emulate. She has taken the conventional and flipped it inside out.